Alright, time for another week of hot rod update. This week I fixed the hump in the back, fixed the body issue with the meshing in the tail fins, found another mesh issue with one of the wings, and I added the nose cone to the propeller. The propeller is actually now down to a 2 propeller. I spent most of the week fine-tuning the engine and propeller, debugging it, and trying to figure out what the issues are. As you can see, the plane now idles at a much higher speed. 2400 RPMs is just almost fast enough to take off in and of itself. Due to the Carolina slant on it, the plane is actually really hard to fly from the cockpit. I find it's still best to fly it from the chase view. What works typically best for me is once you take the parking brakes off, you get it to roll a little bit, and then you apply a little bit of power, not full power like you normally would, just enough to get the plane tilt up a little bit onto that front landing strut. Once it's on that front landing strut, then you can go ahead and lift off. Now that you're in the air, you can go ahead and start applying more power to the plane. Now the more power you apply, the harder you're going to have to press down on that yoke. So just be aware of that. Now once we start applying enough power, the plane will straighten out on its own. What I have been finding is for speeds, this plane will get up to about 250 to 260 knots depending on where you are, going up, going down. Now one of the neat things about it is that you can fully go up for extended periods of time now. I don't know if you could actually do this indefinitely or not, but this is one of the fastest ways to now gain altitude, just in a straight line. I'm going to go ahead and level out and see roughly where we're at now, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can find a nice runway for us. There is one right there. So as you can imagine, I've gotten very familiar with the Lisbon area, and because this plane moves so fast, it's so hard to stay in near sight of just the one Lisbon airport. I accidentally wasn't paying attention to where I was going and found myself in the Algarve about 10 to 15 minutes later. I realized that I was flying over Sagres. So now, because this plane has such a high idle, you end up using the fuel lever as another throttle. So you have to turn the fuel down low enough, and then you can get this plane down to a low enough speed where you can engage the flaps. I think we can probably fully extend them now. Go ahead and turn down our fuel mixture because our throttle is already fully turned off. Fuel mixture is about 10%. try to work on some of my maneuvers to get my landings a little bit better, and you'll find that any maneuver to lower your altitude in this plane you will be applying. Go ahead and turn our fuel mixture off. Coming in for a landing. Are we actually taking off again? Where does it go? Turn the engine off. That'll help me get off the ground. There we go. And we're down. This time I had to turn the engine off as well. So, there you go. There's what it's like to fly the hot rod Cessna at this current point in time. That's all for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed.